It's a while since we've seen each other, isn't it?
It is, yes. A couple of months, I should think, at least.
Is
Yeah,
it?
yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, yeah,
When we had the Zoom
yeah, yeah.
groups. Yeah. How did you get involved with Igloo?
How did I get involved with Igloo? Well, we lived in France for about 11 years or so,
Mhm.
and as a school teacher, I've been used to singing most mornings
Yeah.
in assembly, as one does, and enjoyed it actually. I used to love singing.
Yeah.
And at one point, one of my pianists said, "Why don't you become a take up the orders?" No, no, no. You don't really know me very well. So anyway, we came back, and in France, I belonged to a choir.
Mm.
It was fairly newly formed, and it was just a village choir, and we had a good range of people, short on the men
Mm.
initially,
Mm.
and it remained that way, but loved it. And it was more of a traditional choir in that we sang in four parts, and we sang, bizarrely enough, mainly English music, because that seemed to be written
Yeah.
to suit the choir. And I loved it. We did all sorts of functions and things. And then coming back to UK, we came back right at the end of 2016.
Mm-hmm.
And as 2017 went on, I really missed it and started to look online for choirs and
Mm.
things. And I couldn't believe it when I found Igloo.
Yeah.
We live in North Bullhunt also.
Mm.
And I've been looking at choirs, and I couldn't sort of get my head around what
Yeah.
sort of singing they would do, and it's been delightful. It's been absolutely marvelous. A choir that principally sings original songs
Mm.
that we've created, obviously with DL in the driving seat,
Yeah.
and it's been an absolute joy, really privilege to be part of it. And accepted straight away, really. I went to the first meeting. Bob was rude to me, as you can expect from Bob. And I survived that brutal assault. He's ex-naval, I'm ex-army, so we had a bit of a banter there, and that was okay. But and then the rest is history, really. I joined more or less immediately, and have stayed ever since.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, yeah, so love it. And one of the things that amuses me greatly, I don't know if you're exposed to it at any time with Chris and his guitar. Whatever the conversation is, whatever the phrase is, Chris will have a chord to match whatever's just been said. And it diffuses and it does all sorts of things just with one chord. Da-dum! Or a couple of chords, yeah. So that's great. So yeah, being part of Igloo is good.
Yeah.
And how about you? How did you manage to join? I assume you sang before, did you?
Well, yeah. I mean, I was in the choir at school, and always, like most people, loved singing. Singing along to things. And I've been singing in folk clubs for, well, quite a long time now. Best part of 50 years when I think about it, I suppose. No, not quite that long, but 45 years, let's say.
You were in the pubs illegally then?
Oh no, folk clubs usually were in like social clubs and things, and
Oh, okay.
but always got really nervous.
Yeah.
And I've been singing, Kevin.
Yes.
I've been singing with him for,
He's very tall, especially when he's got his hat on.
yeah. Been singing with him for 20 years,
Yeah.
20 plus years, I suppose, actually. But we both got really nervous, and he'd started coming to Igloo for bass lessons with Chris.
Yeah.
And then said about doing some singing lessons with Dee. And I thought, maybe if I could breathe properly, I might not get quite so nervous. And because you're really always frightened of, the sort of folk club we go to, it's pretty informal. you either have to just jump in, or someone says sing and you're put on the spot.
Yeah.
If you're jumping in, very often you've got someone noodling away on a concertina or something, which could be really nerve-wracking. So I just thought, well, if I knew how to breathe properly so I could be more confident of reaching notes, it might not be quite so hard. And actually, it has really helped. It's helped us singing as a duo and singing individually. So I started with Dee's 101 beginners course, and then I've done a few sort of workshops and things. And then when Dee started the VKF sessions, that was just brilliant, because doing something regularly like that, and you're much more likely to do it with other people. So it's really been great doing that. Thoroughly enjoy it. And of course this year, being able to do that using the Zoom sessions has been amazing, because I just probably wouldn't sing as much on my own if I'd just been at home. But yeah, and doing the exercises and things, I say, it really helps.
The COVID effect has been really quite difficult, and there's been a concern, I think, with a lot of us, of losing vocal fitness. And when the first few sessions I went to Igloo Choir, I came away thinking I'd been to the gym. Because if you have a break and then you actually really get breathing and controlling your breathing, it is quite an effort.
It is.
But,
and the other thing, of course, is everybody's so friendly. When you do go to a Zoom session, whether it's VKF or I've been to some of these global sing things, and the extra sessions that she'd held over the summer. Everybody's so friendly, and it's just been lovely.
Yeah, it's a common aim, isn't it, to produce? We've been working. We were working just before COVID again on a song which is called "Call the Changes," to celebrate the 900th anniversary of the church in Wickham. And we'd begun to write. We just about got the verses sorted. And there's lots of work behind the scenes that PL and Chris do to form it into a song, and then we had to stop. And so this technology of Zoom was brilliant, because it meant that we could continue, and hence that's why I've put the background up, because it's so much fun, isn't it? It meant that we could produce the song remotely. We did our recordings at home with support, and submitted those in to Chris and DL, and they've worked their magic. We haven't seen the finished version yet, but it's a lovely song, and it's so. I've played bits as I've been practicing here, and my wife says that's just like the bells pealing. It really captures it beautifully. So all of that has been great. And this, using Zoom, most of the choir members probably hadn't used Zoom before for the virtual backgrounds, and that's been really quite interesting to do that. My son made me a frame out of electrical conduit, and my wife found a green sheet, which is behind me. There you are. I'm not actually at the church, although you might think that. So and to make it work, it's been a pretty steep learning curve, but it's been worth it.
Well, I mean, I class myself as a techno dummy, but I only started using Zoom really because of these classes being offered. And to be honest, I mean, I even managed to download Zoom myself, get myself sorted out, which is most unusual. So I was quite pleased with myself for managing that. But mostly, apart from, I suppose it's just down to Wi-Fi and things if you do have any problems. But mostly there's been no hitches. It's been great. So
with the choir, it's wonderful to see the faces. Everyone's faces again, and there's all sorts of little comments, friendly comments going across, and it's
Yeah.
just, it's part of being in a choir, isn't it? And it's that's great to be able to continue to do that.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm. I'd be sorely tempted to join myself. Up till now, of course, I've had things like Morris dancing and things, but of course none of that's running at the moment.
Yeah,
So,
it's well, you'd be very welcome, I'm sure. Yeah, and Kevin,
yeah,
could do with another fella
yeah,
or two.
yeah. Again, he's been a bit busy bunny, but yeah,
Yeah, I think he misses it, doesn't he?
yeah,
Yeah, he's been yeah, traveling.
yeah.
Yeah,
I think like everybody else, again he finds it difficult to practice on his own.
yeah.
Um,
Mm.
so
I've told you about the call the changes. That was amazing that we were able to do that. And there's one verse in the song which is about a wedding,
mm,
and there's a nighttime scene as well with the church in the night times. But there's a wedding, and
yeah.
so for that particular verse, we dressed up as if we were at the wedding. And all the ladies in their hats, and I had a, a lapel
Mhm.
buttonhole, a bow tie,
Yeah.
and it was that was funny, really good. Yeah,
That's another lovely thing. When we have had these Zoom sessions and people have dressed up,
yeah,
it's fun.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So that was good.
yeah.
And you see people in a different light. I said, one of the ladies, Kate.
Mm.
Kate had a wonderful, great hat on, and she said, "Oh, I found it on the top of my mother's wardrobe."
um,
So yes, joining the choir is something you'd be very welcome,
mm,
and
well,
so would Kevin.
I've been taking some one-to-one ukulele lessons with Dee because
Oh, really? Yes.
I'd done sort of dabbled a bit before and
Yeah.
got sort of kind of stuck really.
Mm,
So yeah, and I'm really
mm,
enjoying them.
yeah.
Um, yeah,
On the guitar, I did manage "Twinkle Twinkle Little Star"
yeah.
until I drove the family daft, and that was it.
Did you never get to How I Wonder
No,
What
I
You Are?
didn't get past, but when "Twinkle Twinkle Little Star" was about it, really. Yeah. So, but the whole being involved with Igloo Choir has been wonderful, and the Igloo organisation has been terrific.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
We've sung in some well, you have, I'm sure, as well. We've sung in some wonderful places, and
Mhm.
there's quite an emphasis on uh, charity, singing for charity,
Mhm.
and visiting places,
Yeah.
and we do that in any weather.
Yeah. I came out to watch last Christmas when some of you sang in Fareham.
Yeah,
Um,
we've been up to
it wasn't particularly,
Winchester, yeah,
yeah,
a few times. Yeah,
yeah.
I've been a member of the choir now for 3 years.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how long have you been involved?
Well, when you originally said 2017.
We came, yeah, I joined in 2017 in the autumn,
Yeah.
at the beginning of autumn.
Well, actually, I think I must have done that first singing course at that around about that time,
All
the
right.
autumn 2017. Yeah, when I think about it.
Matter
Um,
of fact, I sent an email to Igloo Choir,
hmm,
and we had friends here visiting that on this particular day, and Dial phoned me, and I
yeah,
was on the terrace with some family,
yeah,
and it was quite interesting, really, because it was subtly, it was almost like a little interview
mm,
and about commitment,
mm,
really. And
mhm,
I, I really respected that,
mm,
because there's no point in joining a choir and
yeah,
fiddle faffing around and being in, not in.
mm,
It needs total
yeah.
commitment, and then
Say
the
that.
payback is huge, because
Yeah,
it's so enjoyable, isn't it?
yeah.
And the
Say those.
friendships you form within the group.
Mm,
Yeah. And we sing in a lineup, don't we? And I'm generally in the back line,
yeah.
and some of the ladies in the front line. Is sometimes there's naughty moments,
Hmm.
and they're sort of teasing each other, and that's all part of it, as long as they don't do it when we're actually live on a show. but it's that human contact and interaction.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
So everything I've been to, you know, people have just been so welcoming,
Yeah.
friendly.
Yeah. No, I just think, well, the other thing, Jane, whereabouts do you live locally? Fareham. Well, you're on the doorstep, but I can almost walk.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's brilliant in that respect. And if we go into a gig, there's other choir members that live locally. Angie lives up at Swanmore.
Yeah.
So sometimes we've swapped, we changed shared car journeys.
Yeah.
That's good. Sometimes I've hitched a lift with Chris and DL because they're just up the road. Yeah.
Well, I mean, the Zoom sessions will be one of the things that gets me through the next few weeks.
Yeah. I'm sure they will.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a wonderful organisation to be part of, and the technology that they use is great. Well, that's the other thing that has happened. I joined the choir to sing in a choir, and then I've actually sung solo at one of our. Oh no, I did it a couple of times now, and actually recorded. Now that I would never have dreamt that would have possibly ever happened. Yeah, wonderful. What a wonderful world. I sang up at one of our shows up in North Bullham, and
CD.
Yeah, and no, it was the Moon and Stars show up in North Bullham, and then we did a recording for Christmas. That's in Royal David City. No, I would never have dreamt I'd be in a position to be able to do that.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of pressure, but it's good pressure because you know you're going to achieve something, especially with Chris's wizardry in the recording studio. That was fun.
It was great fun.
Yeah.
Talking to you.
Right. And you. Good. Well, have we seen each other soon in the flesh?
Yeah, weeks or so. It's something. Okay.
Right.